Hello and welcome to the Adventures with Flowers Garden Gang. I'm really excited to show you around. I hope you're going to love it as much as I've loved creating it for you. I'm sure you're going to. So a little bit about it. So basically it's set up with the units as like the kind of resources for you to go through. But first, when you first log on, you will see this post from me, and it's kind of almost a welcome, and it kind of tells you, right, everything's in the unit section, head to unit 1 and kind of have a little read through there. Because the thing is, if you scroll down, you'll see other posts and loads of other things, and you might get a bit overwhelmed. So it really does kind of direct you initially to head to the unit. So if I just do that to show you now. So the first unit is called Start Here, because I just, I think sometimes when you go into these Facebook groups, it can be really overwhelming. There's so much to look at, and that is the complete opposite of what I'm trying to achieve here. So the first video is 3 steps to starting a mindful garden, and that really focuses on reducing the overwhelm when it comes to gardening, helping you to kind of get a plan in place. And then also looking, helping you to get really intimately acquainted with your garden, or inspiring you to. And then the second training, the right plant, right place, is really going to set you up for knowing your garden inside out, because that is going to be really key to your success. So those 2 really are the first videos to watch and get a handle of. And the best thing is, you'll get access to this Facebook group as soon as you've ordered. So even if you're waiting for your first box to be delivered, because they're all delivered on the 4th of the following month, then you can actually start doing some of this work before your first box comes, which is really, really good. And then you will know when your first box comes exactly kind of what your plan of action is. There's also a couple of useful resources in here. So these are, there's garden supplies hacks from your recycling bin. So, although Mind in Bloom box does contain most of the things you need in order to grow your plants, you might decide that you want to, I always put, like, for example, I always put a few extra seeds in. So you might decide that instead of growing them in the discs that I provide, you might want to get some of the a container out of your recycling bin and buy some compost and grow it in there as well. So it's completely up to you. It's very much your subscription. Little bit or some other tools here that you can use, and some other videos to inspire you. And then these are some meditations here. There's a meditation, and then some printouts that you can either screenshot and save to your phone to use, because obviously, I know you're not always going to have immediate access to Facebook, especially if you're feeling, really panicky and you need to do something quickly. If you've just got it on your phone, you can just get it there. Then we move into soil. Now, I know that doesn't sound particularly exciting, but actually you're improving your soil and keeping your soil healthy is going to be really key to your success in growing your flowers or veggies or herbs. So do have a little look at that as well. And then we go on to the units. Now, the next few units won't necessarily be chronological, because, for example, in your first box, you might get, bulbs. So then you would hunt out the bulb unit and look at mindful bulb planting. But if you get seeds, then you might look at one of the seed options. So we've got direct sowing of seeds here, or we've got sowing of seeds in pots, or sowing of them in the discs that you get as part of your Mind in Bloom box. And then there's a couple of inspiration videos as well. So if you really enjoy sowing your seeds that you get in your Mind in Bloom box, and you think, oh, I'd like to try this some more this month, and I'm not going to be getting another box till next month, you might like to go to the garden centre, and this is just a bit of an idea of some other really easy to grow but also really beautiful cut flowers to grow from seeds. And I am planning to do some more videos on these for the veggies as well as we go through the season. So these units aren't finished yet, if you will. I'm constantly adding to them as I get inspiration either from you guys giving me feedback on what you need, but also when I have ideas and I think, oh, actually that would be really, really useful. So these are kind of ever changing. I post at least one video, a new video a month in the group. That's like a pre-recorded one, and also you have the live Q&A sessions as well, which I'll talk a bit more about in a minute. So yeah, so scrolling down, we've got bulbs, we've got planting out your plants. So once you've grown your seeds and they're ready to go out in the garden, how do you plant them? As there's a few tips there. There's also some container gardening information. So that's kind of some inspiration to, you know, make you think about some of the different plants that can really help you to have a really mindful experience when you're planting them, but also when you engage with them throughout the growing season. Then we go into pruning. So that's something that's obviously probably a little bit more, it's not more complicated, but I think people view it as being more complicated. And so those videos really there are to kind of you know, just help you prune certain common plants. So I've got another one going in the group next month for this, so hopefully yeah, you'll find them really useful. And I try and post the videos at a time of year when they can be done straight away, so you know, you can see the video, get inspired, and then go out in the garden and do it if you've already got one of those types of plants there. Watering, feeding and weeding, how to know when your plants need some water, that's key. I also am planning a feeding video, especially if we're going to be growing things like tomatoes and veggies. They are very food hungry, so I am doing a video on that as well. And also weeding, at the bane of everybody's life. So I do think, having said that, I actually do try and practice mindful weeding. So I'm going to be sharing that with you, how to do it, and how actually, rather than seeing it as weeding as a chore, you actually look forward to it. I know that sounds really strange, but I promise you it's going to be really, really good. And then here is our live Q&As. So I'll talk a bit more about those in a minute, but basically every single one is saved into the group. So if you can't make it live, you can always rewatch afterwards, and they tend to be on topics that you guys have sent me questions on, so that I'll explain to you in a sec when I show you another post how we go about doing that. And then the last unit really is a bonus content unit. So I used to be a florist, so I have done a few videos on how to use the plants that you've got in your garden to make gifts for friends or to bring into the house and brighten up the house, and I am thinking I might, if you think it would be good, let me know, add some recipes in there as well. So with the food that some of you will be growing, put some recipes in too. So that's the units there, a bit of an overview. Like I said, they are changing all the time. And then if I just keep scrolling down here, so you can see some of the content here. If I just scroll down here, so also we have grow along posts. So once a month I post this, and it's kind of a little prompt to you guys to show us, you know, how you're getting on in your garden. So just so you know, people can see, because some of you might be based in the north, and things, because it's colder there, chances are things will take slightly longer to get growing than people you know, right down south where it's much warmer. So it's really interesting to see the differences in growing, like across the country. So you know, you could be brand new, and your seedlings might just have started popping up, like that little one you can see on the image there, or you might have been a subscriber for 6 months and something you planted you know, at Christmas time is now coming into bloom. So there is a real variety of photos that come through. So either I get you to post it in the comments on here, or I ask you to post it straight into the group as well. That's one of the lives there. And what I do on the morning of the live is I post this post, so the Ask Me Anything post. And then I just ask people to post their questions underneath. Certainly if they can't make it live, obviously if you can make it to the live Q&A, then you can ask them in the comments on the Q&A, which is really nice to get a bit of interaction going. But if for whatever reason you can't make it live and you still would like to get an answer to your question, then you can pop it in the comments of this post, and then I will answer it during the live. So one other thing I do try and encourage you all to do when you first join the group is to either post a photo of yourself or your garden, and just do a little intro about you know, what you're hoping to get out of your subscription, and also introduce yourself to the group. So let us know where you are in the country, you know, maybe a funny fact about yourself. So yeah, and it's a really supportive group, and I hope that has given you a bit of an idea into the type of thing that you'll have access to, and the type of you know, the amount of support that you get from me, but also from the group as well. So anyway, we would love to have you come and join us as a Mind in Bloom Box subscriber. So please do head over to the website and come and join us. Thanks so much. Bye.